What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the video, and for this one we're going to be doing the 2025 Houston Texans record prediction. So we know why we're here, we'll jump into it. Alright, so for week 1 they're going to be playing against the Los Angeles Rams. It'll be on the road, it'll be a 4 o'clock game, and I think it's going to be a really tough one for the Texans because the Texans' offensive line definitely got worse. Their receiving core got a little worse, losing Stephon Diggs in free agency and losing Tank Dell for this entire season, most likely. And I'm going to say that the Texans lose this game and drop to 0-1. Alright, and for week 2, the Texans will be at home, and their home opener will be against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this is another game I think will be really tough for them. I think they'll have a better chance at winning this one because they'll be at home. But at the same time, it's just the Bucs are, in my opinion, a very good team. And I think their roster is more complete than the Texans' roster, at least offensively. And I'm going to say they lose this game too and drop down to 0-2. Alright, and for week 3, the Texans will be playing their first divisional matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road. And this is a game, I think it'll be a pretty good game. And I think I'm going to lean towards the Texans here just because the Jags, I think they'll be pretty good this season, but at the same time, they have a new head coach, so I think it's going to take a few weeks to get adjusted to things. Whereas the Texans already have DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud and have had them for a few years now. So I'm going to give the Texans the win here and have them improve to 1-2. Alright, and heading into week 4, the Texans will be at home playing against the Titans for the first matchup between them. And I'm going to keep this short. I really don't see any way the Texans lose this game just because the Titans aren't a very good team and they have a rookie quarterback. So I think the Texans' strong pass rush is going to get over to Cam Ward a lot. So give Texans the win here and then have them improve to 2-2. Alright, heading into week 5, they'll be on the road taking on the Baltimore Ravens. This might be their toughest matchup yet. The Ravens, top to bottom, have a Super Bowl bound roster, and I think the Texans are really going to struggle in this game and drop this one down to 2-3. Alright, and week 6 is their bye week. They're sitting at 2-3. Definitely not ideal for a team like the Texans, but we'll see if they can turn it around for the rest of the season. Alright, and for week 7, they will be on the road playing against the Seattle Seahawks. I think this will be a surprisingly low-scoring game because both teams have pretty good defenses. And I'm going to give a slight edge to the Texans here because it's kind of the same thing with the Jags earlier. It's like, I think the Seahawks will be good, but, Sam Darnold, he's a new quarterback in that system, so I think it'll take them some time to really get afloat. So I'm going to give the Texans the win here and improve the record to 3-3. Alright, and heading into week 8, they will be playing against the San Francisco 49ers at home. And this is another matchup that I just think it's going to be really tough for them because of how loaded the 49ers roster is. Granted, they got worse, but at the same time, they're still a pretty good roster. And, the Texans roster also kind of lost some pieces too, along the offensive line, like I mentioned earlier. So this is definitely going to be tough, and I'm going to say they lose this game and drop down to 3-4. Alright, and heading back to their home stadium, they're going to be facing off against the Denver Broncos, and they're sitting at 3-4, the Texans are, and it's not looking pretty, but I have a feeling that the Broncos will trip up here and lose this game, which will give the Texans a victory just because they're going to look at the Texans' record and think they're not a very good team, and that's going to come back to bite them. Texans will win this game and improve to 4-4. Alright, and for week 10, they will be playing the Jacksonville Jaguars for the second time this year, and Texans are at home this time. And I think the Jags are going to win this game. I think they're going to get revenge for week 3 because Texans won that game. Because I think the Jags will be a little more warmed up with their new regime. So I think Texans are going to lose this game and drop down to 4-5. All right, and for their next game, this will be Week 11. They will be playing against the Tennessee Titans, and it will be on the road this time. It'll be their second matchup, and it's kind of like that first game. I really don't see any way the Texans lose this game, so I'm going to say they win this game relatively easily and improve to 5-5. All right, and for Week 12, they'll be playing on Thursday Night Football at home against the Buffalo Bills. I think this will be another really tough matchup because although I think Texans are a pretty decent team, I don't think they're on the level of the Buffalo Bills. So I'm going to say the Bills take this game and the Texans will drop down to 5-6. All right, and for Week 13, the Houston Texans will be playing against the Colts on the road for the first time this season. And this is definitely a very, very winnable game for the Texans. Colts aren't a very good team. The Texans would like to make a playoff push, so Texans will win this game and improve the record to 6-6. All right, and the next game, it'll be on Sunday Night Football on the road against the big bad Kansas City Chiefs. It's kind of like what I said about the Bills and the Ravens. I mean, I just don't see the Texans, winning this game because they're just not in the caliber of those teams I just mentioned. And granted, it's the Chiefs, so it'll probably be close and they'll win by some fluke manner, but a win's a win regardless. And I'm going to say the Texans drop this game and drop to 6-7. All right, and next up, they will be at home playing against the Arizona Cardinals. This is definitely a game I think Texans are going to win. I just feel like CJ Stroud is a more consistent quarterback than Kyler Murray. And also, I think DeMeco Ryans is a better head coach than Jonathan Gannon. I think the Texans roster is more talented. So I think this should be an easy win for the Texans, and I think they'll win and improve to 7-7. All right, and for Week 16, they will be home again playing against the Las Vegas Raiders. And I definitely wouldn't say this is an easy win because the Raiders, I think, are going to be a tough team to beat every Sunday. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure the Texans can do it. I think they will and improve their record to 8-7, and for the first time, have a record over 500 this season. So yeah, they'll improve the record to good old 8-7. All right, and for Week 17, the Texans will be playing against the Chargers on the road. And the Chargers, I think they're going to be mad. After the last time these two teams played, which was in the playoffs where the Texans won, I think the Chargers are going to want some revenge, and I think they'll get it by beating the Texans and dropping their record down to 8-8. And ending their season, they will be at home playing against the Indianapolis Colts. As I mentioned in my Colts video, I think the Colts have kind of just given up on the season by this point, and the Texans are obviously going to give this game their all because potential playoff push, because 9-8 might get you there and 8-9 probably won't. So I think we're going to see a very motivated Texans team win this game and improve their final record to 9-8. And that's going to do it for their record. I mean, this is probably not what Texans fans were hoping for. I'm sure they were hoping to win the division, and obviously they can't do that since the Jags are up on them by a game. But I just feel like the Texans, I feel like they've been winning the division. They've won it 2 years in a row, but it's like, I think the only reason they've won it is because of how bad their division was. I don't think it was really because they were that good. I think it was just because there was never really a threat in that division. So it was just, really easy for them to win. And I think this year is going to show that the Texans are just not on the par of other Super Bowl contenders. And they're a good team, don't get me wrong. I just don't think this is going to be the best year for them. And 9-8 could technically get them in the playoffs. I'm not sure if it will. They probably have to get lucky with all the other teams that I have to predict. But, 9-8, it's going to be close on whether or not they make the playoffs or not. And this will officially eliminate the Colts from playoff contention because I have the Texans at 9-8, and the Broncos at 11-6, and the Chargers at 10-7, and those are all teams that haven't won their division, so it's mathematically impossible for the Colts to make playoffs. And that's going to do it for this video. I'll be out with a Tennessee Titans prediction video in a little while. And until then, I will see y'all then. And have a good day. And thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later.